Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tiger Tees Podcast. We'll be with you shortly. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, we'd like to welcome you to our podcast, Tiger Tees Podcast, where we give you information about life insurance, about credit, and to enhance and educate you within this community. We're going to talk about tonight a very important topic, and that topic is life insurance. I know on one of my previous episodes, I spoke in length about life insurance, but tonight I want to be brief when talking about this subject. You know, lately we have experienced a lot of death within our family, community, within the church family. And one important common denominator that has come to fruition is that some of these people did not have life insurance. And so I was reading a study on today, and it was stating that 56% of African Americans have life insurance, which leads to 44% of African Americans that don't have life insurance. But what I found out in that survey, right, or in that deposition that I was reading, is that we have more insurance than the white race of people. I was shocked to find that out because, you know, in the community that we live in, a lot of times we all automatically assume. But at least I could say we're progressing, we're moving in the right direction. Okay, but my job, my goal is to I want to see everybody have life insurance. We have family members that refuse to get life insurance for some reason or another. And they would buy $300 pair of shoes. And they would go to the club, spend a lot of their money at the club. They would go to the bingo hall. They would go to the casino, right, and waste all of their money. They'll go to big concerts, right? And they refuse for some reason to purchase life insurance. Now, you can get life insurance in the products of a whole life or a term policy. And if you want to learn about that in detail, just go watch one of my previous episodes when I talked about life insurance, right? But I came on tonight very briefly to let you know that, hey, listen, if you don't have life insurance, please get life insurance. Please get life insurance, because when the body leaves that hospital or wherever it is, it goes to that funeral home, right? And the funeral home is going to want to know, do that individual have life insurance? So I say to you tonight, if you did not have life insurance, please, I am begging you, please get you some life insurance. Obtain you some life insurance. It is tax season. I'm doing taxes left and right, right? And I'm always educating my clients. If you do not have life insurance, you can take some of this tax money and obtain you some life insurance. It's very vital. It's so important as drinking water. So I just want to come on tonight just to elaborate just a little bit to get some life insurance, a whole life policy, life insurance is a good thing to have. It accumulates cash value and it grows over time. So when you have that whole life insurance policy, normally a whole life insurance policy accumulates cash value within the next 3 years after you obtain that policy. And you can actually borrow from that whole life policy. I've done it. And I tell you, it's like having your own bank. So my advice to you is just to let it build up and not let it, don't take from it all the time. You want it to build up. But if you're doing like home renovation, remodeling, that's, to increase the value in your home, that's very important that you can do that. But any other way, I would not bother the cash value in my life insurance. I will let it grow. Okay. Another thing is the term life policy. Term life policy, it doesn't create any cash value. It doesn't even grow any cash value. It's just a term life policy set to a certain term, like 10, 20, 30-year term. So it is very easily to afford, okay, compared to a whole life policy. Now, the great thing about a whole life policy is that it accumulates cash value. But I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about when they talk about the whole life policy. The whole life policy, even though it creates cash value, right? If a person were to pass, right, that have that policy, that person's beneficiary cannot receive that cash value that person has accumulated over time. That cash value goes back to that insurance company, which that is something that I don't like about it. So if a person know they're sick, feel like they're sick, and they feel like they want to take their cash value out of that policy, that is very prudent to do so. So I would say to you, in that event, yeah, you can take that cash value out. Uh, if you know you're not feeling well, you know you're maybe not going to be here around too long. We never know how long we're going to be here. But if you have that feeling or urge that I would say it'd be wise to take that cash value out of that whole life policy. Okay. So again, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get you some life insurance. This is one of the things that is dear to my heart. I've been preaching this for a long time throughout my families, on both sides of my families. I preach life insurance. Get it. You're going to need it, because when the funeral home director calls, one of the first questions he's going to want to know, do you have your loved one's insurance policy? Okay. So it's very beneficial for you to have that. Not only for yourself, make sure your kids, make sure all your family members within your immediate family, make sure they have life insurance. Someone say, good information. Thank you. So make sure you have that. And it bothers me because I get really tired of going to places where they're raising a cup. They come in and they want to raise money to bury somebody. And it's sad. It's very sad when that person that was living could have got them some insurance. But guess what? They refuse to get that insurance. They rather party, go out to the clubs. They rather drink and smoke. I'm going to come hard to you tonight, because I want you to know how important having life insurance is. People spend all their money on alcohol, smoking and drinking, partying all week long, but want the pastor of the church to bury them when they pass. Now, let me tell you something. That pastor have the discretion of that right. Because while you're living right now, while you're breathing, in your right mind, in your right health, go get you some life insurance. People, it's not that hard. Even if you're in the worst of health, you can get term life insurance. You can obtain life insurance with pre-existing conditions. That is what the Affordable Care Act was all about and what it is all about. So please, I say to you, I'm begging you, to all of my families, to all of my friends, to all of my constituents, to all of my neighbors who may be watching this podcast, to all of my associates, to all of my colleagues, to all of my brothers and sisters, cousins, everybody, please get you some life insurance. Do not depend on your loved one to bury you. Do not do that. You can actually have your life insurance deducted out of your check, whether you get a monthly check, weekly, a bi-weekly check, whatever the case may be. You can have that insurance deduction coming out to cover you. That way, you don't have to worry about trying to pay it every month out of your own. It automatically comes out. And let me tell you something. It's so easy to do, right? And so I have mines coming out. I don't have to worry about trying to go pay it. It automatically comes out. But I do check it just to make sure. I go online and check it. So it is my job and your job as fathers, right, to make sure our household have life insurance. Your spouse, if you're married, your children, even if you're not married, make sure that you have life insurance on your children. Regardless if they're grown or not, because guess what? A lot of grown children are not responsible. If something happened, they're going to look at the man. They're not going to look at the spouse. They're not going to look at the wife. They're not going to look at the ex-wife or the fiance. They're going to look at the father of their child. So again, ladies and gentlemen, please, I beg you, please get you some life insurance because you're going to need it. Now, if you want to know more information of getting the policy, you can contact me on this website, or you can reach me on my business number at 925-719-4856. And I have a life insurance agent that can help you, that can sign you up tonight or tomorrow, because I want to make sure all of my people, no matter what race or color, creed or origin, I want to make sure all of my people have life insurance. It's a sad thing when that funeral director called that husband or that wife and said, we need insurance on your loved one. And they tell that funeral director, I'm sorry, but he didn't or she didn't have any insurance. And it's coming. And the feeling that a person may get behind that is why I don't want to put my family in a bind. As a man, I'm going to do my part. So if you're listening to this podcast, I want you to do your part. Don't leave this world. Don't leave this earth without having life insurance. Don't leave this earth without having life insurance. I want to say that again. Don't leave this earth without having life insurance. It is very important. And the most important thing, don't leave this earth without having a relationship with God, which is the most important. But again, this episode is about life insurance. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I am begging you, go online. You can go to ethos.com. They have so many different insurance websites. You can do it from your laptop, from the comfort of your home. That's what technology allows us to do now. We don't have to go in face to face. We can do everything online. Make life so simple. So I want to challenge you tonight. I want to challenge all of my family members on both sides of the aisle. If you do not have life insurance, go get you some life insurance. Go and get your kids some life insurance. Go ahead and get your grandbabies some life insurance. We're living in different times now, where sometimes your child that has a child is not responsible. So as parents and as grandparents, it is important that you have your child or grandchild covered, because you can't depend on this generation of children. That's the way it is. Again, if you want to get some insurance, please see me. Call my business number. You can text me. I prefer you to text me. Call my business line, 925-719-4856. You can reach me on that business line, 925-719-4856. Text me. Let me know who you are and say, hey, listen, Tiger T, I need some insurance. I need whole life. I need term life. I need, whatever the case may be. And I promise you, I will connect you with someone on that same day, if not the next day, that can provide you the insurance that you need. Someone say in the chat, information that everybody should know and check on every year. That is so important. You can get a life insurance policy for around $20 a month. That is so true. So again, ladies and gentlemen, please, 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 please get you some life insurance. Again, this past weekend, we buried our uncle, and I wasn't worried about his situation. He always had his business in order. But there have been others that have passed that don't have life insurance. And they're asking that others make donations to bury their loved ones, because they fail to get life insurance. And let's be honest, it is what it is. We have to be real. We have to be honest. They fail to get life insurance. So many people have failed to get life insurance because they say, listen, my family will take care of that when I'm gone. But we shouldn't leave that on our family members to take care of. Especially if we're a man, it is our responsibility to be the head of our home. It is our responsibility to lead and to guide as men. And I talk about this in my men's fellowship program that I do all the time. We talk about how iron sharpens iron, so does a man sharpen the countenance of his friends. As men, we are designed to be leaders. God designed us to be leaders and real men. to love, honor, and respect, to lead our household. So I want to say to you tonight again, as I end this segment, and if you're not online, go back and watch it. It will be saved. Go back and watch it. And if you have any questions about life insurance, go to my previous segment where I talked about life insurance and how life insurance is so important. Well, this concludes my episode of life insurance, and I will see you on the other side. Have a good night.